Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Wayne County. We are a diverse congregation that welcomes you as you are, regardless of your age, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, economic status, or physical ability. We come together to seek a deeper meaning and understanding from each other and the world around us. Your presence here today is a gift that brings us closer to that understanding. We are an active community that lives its values beyond the hours of Sunday service. And I would like to call your attention to the following. Every fourth Sunday, the Unitarian Universalists join the racial justice system on the square downtown at noon. Today, September 24th, is our day. So you can join us if you'd like. Join members of the racial justice system. Oh, that's a repeat. Okay, sorry. Please join us for the vegan potluck this Tuesday at 6:15 at the fellowship. Please bring a vegan dish to share, your own table service, and a drink. We've been having a lovely time each month. That's what it says here, lovely time. So maybe it will be very lovely. All that's missing is you. Join the UUFWC Humanist Group next Sunday, October 1st, in the large group room at 11:30. Alice Claymeyer, who teaches at Worcester City Schools, will speak to us about neurodivergence with time for questions and discussion. If you'd like to find out more about our activities, feel free to ask Karen Skubik, our membership coordinator. Also, I've been asked to mention that there was some paper currency found in the parking lot, was it?
Right, that end of the parking lot.
Yeah, and if you can give us the serial numbers of all the... No, you don't have to do that. So see Karen if you lost some money, and she'll get it to you.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
I lose money every week at the gas station.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's good to be back myself. I've missed a couple weeks, and I've missed all of you. And there's some of you, though, that I don't know that well, that it might be your first or second time here. And what we do during this part of the service, we give you the opportunity to introduce yourself if you want to. You don't need to, but if it's your first, second, third, whatever time, you're welcome to introduce yourself, and then we can talk to you after the service and know who you are and get to know you a little better. So is there anyone here that would like to introduce themselves or introduce someone with them? No? Okay. Silence. Silence. Well, hopefully you pick out a few new faces around you, and even if they're not so new to you, hopefully that you have time to talk to these wonderful folks here. Thank you.
Now, I would ask you to open your minds and silence your cell phones for our time together. Our chalice lighting this morning is The Persistent Flame by Amy Brooks. Even as the days grow shorter and our homes shrink smaller, and our wicks burn lower, and our will to endure flickers, we light this chalice to kindle a flame of warmth, and as a reminder of the connection that draws us into a community that opens us up in gratitude for the breath in our lungs and the love in our hearts for the gift of this day, alive. This morning, the choir is going to help us learn a song. Please join us as we sing I Walk the Unfrequented Road, hymn number 53 in the gray hymnal. Let us now rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn.
So if you want to listen to the first verse, if you haven't heard it, do so. We expect you to sing on the second and the rest of them.
Thank you, choir. Thank you, everybody, for being a little brave and trying a new song. Now is our time of the service where we invite all of our friends, young at heart, high in energy, and open of mind, to come down for our time for all ages. So I encourage all of you who feel, if you're welcome to come too, Mom, it's okay. Everybody is welcome. Oh, does anybody know, is this mic on? Can I get the red mic on? Oh, wonderful. Does anybody know what yesterday was? What was yesterday?
It was the first day of fall.
First day of fall. Come on, Tim, have a seat. First day of fall. Stay out of the Wonder Box. We are not doing the Wonder Box, okay? If you cannot play nicely with the others, everybody has their equal turn here, okay? You are welcome to stay, but you have to play by the group's covenant, okay? All right. So, first day of fall. Can anyone tell me a great big fall That's cool. A great big fall holiday coming up. What is it?
Halloween.
Does anybody here like Halloween? All right, yeah, right. Halloween, better than Christmas, if you ask me. So, wonderful. So everyone's excited about Halloween. What happens to vegetables that are round and orange during Halloween? You think you know, Benjamin?
You carve them?
What?
You carve them?
We carve them. You see this guy up here? Yeah. I am going to share with you a story that is actually a song by a guy named Peter Mayer. Anybody know Peter Mayer? He did this thing called, I think, Blue Boat Home, if I'm right. He wrote the words for that. Not the tune. It's an old tune. I'm going to read the song because you don't want to hear me sing the song Acapulco, all right? I'm going to read to you parts of the song. I'm going to ask you questions along the line. Is that cool? Everybody? All right, you following along? All right. This is called John's Garden. Farmer John wandered back, and when he reached the pumpkin patch, he began to speak. He said, "The weather's getting colder. Summer's over, and it's almost Halloween. That's the day you were raised, when everything about your life will change. You will have eyes to see, and for that night you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. But remember that a candle shines only for the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart." Who's he talking to? Who knows who he's talking to, Farmer John? Who's he talking to? He's talking to his pumpkins. Have any of you ever talked to a pumpkin before? Well, you should give it a try. They're very friendly. So he's talking to his pumpkins, and he's saying to his pumpkins, "This is the night I raised you for. I am going to scoop out your innards and carve into your flesh eyes and a mouth." If you were a pumpkin, how would you feel about this? Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't feel good about it.
You wouldn't feel good about it. How would you feel about it?
I would seriously get punished.
You would seriously get punished. Well, scooping up. By what? Sorry.
I would seriously be dead for it.
You would seriously be different? Welcome to the club. Being seriously different is not a bad thing. Anybody else, how would you feel about this? How many of you feel good about having your innards scooped out and a candle put inside of you? Yes, Sarah, it's what you do for a living. All right. I'm going to continue reading the song. There is much to ask and ponder in the pumpkin patch when imposing old October shows up at last. Then a pumpkin from the further end, who had been silent up till then, over the commotion said, "What would you rather have, my friends? A chance to shine or die here on the vine? The better way seems plain to me. You will have eyes to see. And for that night, you'll be a bright lamp burning in the darkness. And maybe that candle shines for only the briefest time in a jack-o'-lantern's heart. But oh, one goblin smile should make it all worthwhile. And you know, you might even see the starlight, and knowing that time is brief makes it much more sweet when you have a jack-o'-lantern's heart." What does that mean? Who wants to take a guess at what that all means? How many of you like jack-o'-lanterns? Right? How many of you have fun carving jack-o'-lanterns? Right? It's almost like the idea of a jack-o'-lantern is to have fun and to be in that moment. What if the pumpkin's purpose is to be a jack-o'-lantern and to provide light? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Yes, my friend.
It's a good thing.
How many of you think it's a good thing? You think it's a good thing?
Yes.
Yes? How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to say it's a good thing? Yeah, all right. Is it a good thing?
Yes.
Yes. So, but it can be scary to have your gut scooped out, right? 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 But maybe sometimes that little bit of scariness, a little bit of fear, helps to push you into making this world brighter for everybody and to doing something a little good. Maybe doing what you're good at and doing maybe what you feel you were made for helps to make this world a better place for everyone. How does that feel to y'all? Do you like that idea? Yes? Yes, you are welcome to scoop out all the energy you want, Sarah, as long as it makes the world a better place. You can, again, that's what you do for a living. So, thank you all, my friends. Are you all going to be bright jack-o'-lanterns today? Can you make your light shine really big? All right, let me see your light shine really big. Come on, shine your light. It's right here in your chest. Everybody. Yeah. No, come on. Stand up. Stand up. Face everybody here, because these are the folks who need your light more than anyone else. And as much, if your light comes up, do this. If your light goes out, do this. Be mindful of the people next to you. Do not slap anyone in the face. Right? But let us show them your light. Show them your light. Yes. Yes. Thank you, my friends, for sharing your light with us. Let us now sing our friends to their classes. Go in love, our hearts go with you. Go in joy, our hopes go too. Learn in love and grow in wisdom. Shine your light in all you do.
It has been said that faith without works is dead. Sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. As I always do.
And he's right. Faith without works is dead. Excuse me. There. Good morning. Happy fall. We're so pleased to have you join us for another turning of the wheel of the seasons. And for those that know me, you probably wouldn't be surprised that my source today would be a song, which was the Peter Mayer song. And I hope that you're going to journey with us to discover, acknowledge, and reignite the lights that we carry. So Farmer John goes to the pumpkins patch, and he gives a speech to the pumpkins that declares their purpose, their reason for being raised, and they aren't happy to know, as we know, that they're going to be removed from their vines, change their appearance, and have candles placed within them to become lights for Halloween. In fact, they become quite afraid. So what's the source of their fear? Is it the unknown? Probably. There aren't many of us that feel like don't like to feel like we don't have control of the process or the outcome of things. In fact, the fear of the unknown creates all kinds of monsters in our heads that feed insecurities and scenarios that may not even exist. And what about the disorder that changes create? Change is messy. Scooping out the innards, if you've ever done it, when you're doing it with a pumpkin, not such clean work. And if you've ever done any personal growth work, you know it's not for the faint of heart. And then there's the intrusion of something new. We all like our dance of life to be very familiar. And many times when we attempt to make changes, those around us try to pull us back into those patterns and those dance steps that they recognize because changes don't make them feel comfortable. So what are we talking about by inner lights? We all carry a light within us. It's a special gift or a talent that makes us unique to this world. Society has taught us, many of us, that showing our individual lights is undesirable. That individual light is exactly the gift we need to bring to this world right now, in this moment, and this place. Sorry, those that know you know that when I get nervous, I get teary. So I've asked a couple folks today to come and share the stories of their lights with us. And I hope that you will find them inspiring to seek your own light and to let it shine brighter. I think this coming year is going to be a bumpy ride. And I believe that this is the time that we need to find our inner lights and learn how to make them shine. So now we can do the offering.
Thank you. It has been said that faith without works is dead.
I've heard that before.
Really? Is there an echo in here? As Unitarian Universalists, we believe in doing the work, no matter the source of your faith. The offering we are about to collect funds the work both in our community and beyond these walls. All donations collected today that are not specifically marked otherwise will be split with People to People Ministries. People to People Ministries is a nonprofit ministry that offers food, shelter, and clothing to people in need. We thank you for your donation toward the mission and vision of this community. The offering will now be collected and gratefully received. Join me in this unison reading.
Yeah.
No?
Let's, yeah, then Lindsay will go.
Okay, should I go ahead? Join me in this unison reading. The words are on the screen. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
I was asked to speak to you today about where my light comes from and what I do with it. Where did my light come from? For me personally, it came from divinity. And divinity is way too big for one God alone. I'm a pagan, and I use what I was given as a soul as best I can. Using your light, one's light, is an active choice. There are days that we cannot do that any more than one breath at a time. And if you have a day where you're depressed, or you're grieving, or it's hard, or you're in pain, One breath at a time is good enough. The small acts of life are good enough. Say hello to the person in the grocery store. When somebody asks how you're doing, believe them, give them real answers. I know that when I ask how someone is doing, I mean it. I don't want fine if you're not fine. I don't want good if you're not good. And most of you who've spoken to me know that when you ask how I'm doing, you'll get a lot of answers that don't include fine and good. Sometimes you'll get, I've been better, I've been worse. Sometimes you'll get, this is what's actually going on. When I ask you how you are, I have time to listen to you. And I ask that when you ask how somebody is, that you begin to want real answers, not just socially acceptable ones. I have been told by many people that I see the similarities in people more than I see the differences, which helps me to group all of the marginalized groups together and realize that we're fighting for the same things, and that helps a lot of people understand that we're in this together. And because we're in this together, we all need everybody's light. Because I believe that I was given it by divinity, I did not need to discover my light at all. My light is my soul, and it's what divinity has given me to use on the planet. And remember, folks, we do not need to believe alike to love alike, but we must love alike very intensely. I hope that my words today have shown my light to you, have perhaps caught your own light on fire if it needed to be reignited, have helped you now or will help you in the future. Thank you for listening.
That was freaking beautiful. Lindsay, that was amazing. We need to remember that it is each other's light that sustains us. That is the community we make that is where the divinity is. I'd like us to take a moment now to see how we all are doing. This is the time we share our joys and sorrows. And particularly, we hold Laura Moore in our hearts today. Her dear husband of all of her life passed away on Friday afternoon. And I've already told a few people, Laura including, Laura is the one who will hug you at the door. Laura is the one who will love on this congregation. And Laura, I have already told you, now is your turn to be loved upon. I want you all to find a way to hug Laura. If it's not with your body, if it's just with a comforting smile, a warm conversation, she does like her cookies. We are holding you in our hearts, Laura. And we are sharing some wonderful joys this week. Jay Clemmy and Ann Wilson celebrate the birth of their second grandchild, Suzanne Joyce Clemmy. 10 pounds plus. And mom's doing okay. It is wonderful to share another life coming into this world. And speaking of new children entering our lives, Deneen Paul, our friend who sits over here, you may have seen her with the two twins, Helen and Katie. Deneen got full custody of them this weekend. It has been a battle. And I am so glad that those two wild young women with their hissing cockroaches as pets have a loving and stable place to be. And I'm glad that they are a part of our community. All of us enter this space with something weighing on our hearts, be it a joy that we have experienced over the last week, or something that weighs on our hearts. If you have something that weighs particularly heavy on you today, something that is beyond words, I encourage you to come up while we sing Spirit of Life, to take a stone and place it in the water. For sorrows shared are sorrows divided. And if there is a joy, I encourage you to do the same. Lighten us with your presence, for joys shared are joys multiplied. If you would like me to talk with you after service or set up an appointment, come grab my hands or give me a wink when you're up in the line, and I'll be glad to make contact with you. Please come and share with our joys and sorrows as we sing Spirit of Life. Where is Bert? Come on up, Bert.
Missed my cue. Now, let's see if I've lost what I have here. Anyway, what is my light within? It just might be my vision for what can be and the attendant hope that goes with that vision. When I joined the UUFWC, it was as a migrant into Worcester. The 20 to 30 person fellowship that existed then was a place to be, a place to know some like-minded people. And it served that purpose, even with just the 20 to 30 people that were there at the time. But of course, you change, things change. The institutions always change, and even when someone joins them, it changes it. So anyway, one of the people I got to know was Kay Bowen, who had an infectious vision of what the fellowship could become. A place with a presence in Wayne County, a real presence with its own building, professional clergy, and even say the 100 to 125 people that it would take to support such a presence. So outside of work and family, that has become my primary purpose since. If I can steal a few more seconds here, one of my visions I have now is a less divisive society. After that famous philosopher Rodney King, can't we all get along? Why can't we all get along? I'm going to give you a quick story about what I see, at least for myself, maybe in the future. I collected signatures to put issue 1 on the ballot, which will put, and I collected from strangers outside the library, which would put reproductive rights on the ballot, and we get to vote on that next November. While I was doing that, a woman came out of the library. I remember she was wearing a kind of a white sweater. It was raining, drizzling. It wasn't really cold. I had a sweatshirt on. I'm not one to suffer. But she thought I needed a cup of coffee. She offered me a cup of coffee. She went in. I said, "Oh, you have decaf in there?" And she said, "Oh, no, I have to go out to get it." Well, I asked her to sign the petition. She says, "No, I'm pro-life." She wouldn't sign the petition. But then she went out and got me a cup of coffee, came back 20 minutes later, apologized for being late. That's who I want to be when I grow up.
I don't have to say anything. They're saying it all for me today. Okay, so let's get back to the pumpkins. As the pumpkins are panicking and discussing their fate, there is this quiet voice at the end of the patch that states a simple truth. We have an opportunity and a reason to shine. And you just want to stay right here and die on the vine in this patch? We can have eyes to see. We'll be able to see the stars and in the process be a beacon for those little goblins that are trick-or-treating for one night. And yes, our light span may be brief, but we will be the brightest light to add to the magic and mystery of the night. Who gets choked up about jack-o'-lanterns? I think the pumpkins got it right. Have you ever had a moment when you're using your gift, showing your unique special light, and everything feels perfect? There are two things in my life that never feel like work: making music and helping others to learn. Those are my lights. And when I'm allowing them to shine, the world just feels different. It's as if everything is in place. So if we can feel like that, what stops us? Well, I think we know the answer is probably fear. And I think there's a really powerful antidote to fear. Anyone guess what it is? Kindness. I think kindness is an incredible antidote. It's a powerful magic. In fact, it's so powerful, it can help to quench fear. If you've ever had one person, a stranger, do a simple, kind act for you, you understand its power. If you're standing in a line and someone says, "Oh no, go before me," you're in a car and someone before you pays for your lunch in a drive-thru, someone sends you cards or flowers, it changes you that day, doesn't it? For that moment, I always want to go, well, who can I be nice to? What can I do to pass this on? It's very powerful. And what I find even more powerful is how we view that person for that extended moment, or for that moment that extended the kindness. That stranger is no longer an other. They're not a threat to us anymore, right? People, total strangers, is like, wow, that's a nice person. They become simply a friendly face. Now that, my friends, is powerful magic. And yet, we find it difficult to show ourselves kindness. I have struggled throughout my life acknowledging, that I might have a special light within. I mean, I live and see my imperfections every single day, and they remind me that I am nothing special. I look in the mirror and I see every single flaw. And because I can see every flaw, it took me a while to recognize that I had a light within me, and that it's special and it's unique. So if you're struggling to find your special light, start by being kind to yourself. In the morning when you're looking in the mirror, greet yourself as a familiar friend. You can just go, hey, hi, nice to see you, just like you would anyone in the street. Listen to when people you trust give you a compliment. I know a lot of us are really good at that deflection game. You know, wow, you look incredible today. Oh, this old thing I got it at Goodwill. Guilty, anyone? It bit me. And give more compliments to yourself and to others. Okay. So, now is the time for us to find our lights within and to let them shine. I feel that it's only in the autumn. I feel that it's not only the autumn season that's bringing the waning of the light. So shine, be your unique, amazing self. Share your gifts with us. Bless us with your light within. And now we hear from Scott Beal.
Made it a little higher. Okay, so I was originally asked to share how I shed my life with the world. And then I was told, well, I had 3 minutes to do so. It was a little funny. Right, so I went home and I typed out a whole page, figured I can just edit it down, and did so several times. Printed it out and left it on the kitchen table. To this day exactly, September 24th of 2020, I started work with customer service. One thing I came to find out is that I'm good at helping people, and I like doing it. Started out with health insurance. Well, I'm still on health insurance, but 2 different ways. First, I did benefits and claims, and now I do community resource. One thing that I found that I was very good at was going over claims. There's 2 things with claims. Either I can look at a difficult claim, and I found I was good at explaining to people how to understand why they're being billed for something. But then I also came very good at reading claims with finding the inaccuracies, what needed changed, whether it was the doctor's office fault or how the insurance company processed it. Adam, it's about 50-50. Through finding the inaccuracies with how some claims are processed and getting them to either back to the doctor's office or sending them back to the claims department, I've been able to save a lot of people a lot of money. I'll tell one story later. I have a very diverse past, and I believe that that has enabled me to talk to a large, different groups of people and to help them understand, to listen to their story and empathize with them and help them understand what's going on. Because health insurance can be crazy. So one story in particular, I was asked to work, if I wanted to work on a Saturday, to do what we called working inventory. We're going to go through pending cases to see if we can close any of them. I believe I was spiritually directed toward this one, picked it up. This family was being billed $77,000 for a newborn that didn't survive. I took it personally. I'm going to gloss over a lot of it. I found inaccuracies with this claim. I took it to a specialist that we can call and get help. She even found things that were complicated to her and called the person that she gets advice from. To make a long story short, I had to call the hospital, tell them about certain things that weren't right, and then we didn't process certain things right. It came back that the bill was $113,000. we got the insurance to pay it at 100%. Imagine a phone call that I had to make to this family to tell them they didn't owe a penny. Granted, it's a much longer story. This is a very emotional phone call. This past May, there was a lady that filled out a survey about what she wanted help with. When I was asked, she had asked us to call her. So when I called her, 3 days prior, she found out she had stage 4 cancer and was given 6 to 24 months. I sat and listened to everything that was going on, found out, and was thinking about how I can help. To tell it briefly, over several weeks, I sent her several resources, getting her house to be cleaned, free wigs, free transportation to medical appointments, several others. After a few times with calling this lady over the weeks, we got to know each other, and she even asked me to call every 2 or 3 weeks. And I get to call her tomorrow morning, and it's been, 5 months. I've been very happy with what I've been able to do with helping people. It's just a customer service job, but I've been able to use my past experiences, especially my research, a fair amount in research. So it gives me joy to go to work every day.
Such power I wield. It's like magic. So this morning, you have an opportunity to participate in a short ritual to find your light or to share your light with us. As you see, there's a table in the center of the room with paper and writing utensils. I ask that you take a moment to center ourselves. And you can go to the writing table when you're ready. And if you know what your light is and you'd like to share it with us, that would be wonderful. I do believe there is a power in the manifestation of writing something down. It somehow solidifies it within us. If you see someone that can't navigate to the table, there are pieces of orange paper on the table. If you would want to take it to them, they can write it themselves. You also see, you know me, kindergartner here. I always love to have a takeaway that we remember what we're supposed to think about for this quarter. And ours is about letting our light shine. So we have candles that are hearts. So as you write down your gift, feel free to take a candle, to take it home. Maybe, I always put mine in the kitchen because that seems to be where I am most of the time. And I just use it as a way to remind me. You can use it as a meditative tool. You can put it inside your jack-o'-lantern. If you can't find your gift today, if you're struggling with that, take a candle and use it to meditate on. And maybe ask a trusted friend, what do you see in me? Sometimes we struggle with those things. So if you'll take a moment to center yourself with me, let's get our feet on the floor, get nice and centered. Let's take a deep breath in, and as we inhale, let's reach down and let's find your light. As we exhale, let's pull it forward up to our consciousness. Now, let's go share our gifts.
Everybody has a light. As much as we may try to deny it, everybody has a light. Each one of you here offers something beautiful and unique to this world that is needed. As our days become shorter and shorter, as the night lengthens on, hold on to your light. Know that it is a comfort, not just to you, but to the world around you. Don't let the darkness worry you, my friends. Find rest in it. Find comfort in it. And know that the light that you offer and that the world around you offers will always be there. You are a gift, and you are enough. For the benediction, I ask that you please join me in the unison reading, which is on the screens. I will be reading the non-bold print, and you will be reading the bold print. As the light begins to wane, as the darkness becomes longer, because I know my community needs my gift, and as the community shines brightly, may it be so, my loves. May it be so. As we extinguish our chalice and keep our pumpkin lit and stay in there.
Please join us as we sing This Little Light of Mine, hymn number 118 in the gray hymnal. Now let us rise in body and spirit as we are able.
And you have this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world.